My favorite part of the day is when I get to lay my head down nice and soft on my pillows to lay down for a gentle night's sleep. I'm gonna milk that footage as long as I can. Are you kidding me? That was fucking funny. So I got this tag from NikitaRoqueSox, like I do almost all my fucking tags. At least all the ones that are gonna fucking follow after this one, because I just like went through her playlist and I was like, oh, that one would be fun. Oh, that would be fun too. Oh, that's gonna be cool. And it's also pure fucking coincidence that I just so happen to be doing the fingerless glove thing when she always does it because that's part of her dedicated outfit. And I just sort of saw them and I was like, you know what? I'm not using these for anything. I might as well use them for this. So yeah, not trying to rip you off. I'm just, I just like what you did, and I have these. So let's get started, eh? Number 1, do you dream? Yeah, I mean, fun fact, everyone fucking does. Whether or not you remember it has nothing to do with this, but the only people who don't dream are people who have had severe damage done to their brain, like a lobe problem, or had like chunks taken out or damaged. But you know, whether you remember it or not doesn't mean that you didn't fucking do it. But do I remember them? About 50-50. Sometimes I remember parts of my dreams, but my dreams are really weird. It's not that I'll not remember like the plot of my dream. The problem is that they don't have a plot. Even as I'm experiencing them, I'm realizing that this doesn't make any sense. My dreams are generally in fragments. I will have this part that makes sense, sort of, and then it'll just cut to this, and it'll be this whoosh whoosh, and it just doesn't make any fucking sense. So even when I can vividly remember what I was dreaming about, I can't explain it worth a shit. Number 2, what did you dream about last night? I have no fucking clue. Number 3 asks, how many of your dreams do you generally remember? It's like about 50-50. Honestly, it's a hit or miss whether or not I can remember my dreams or not, and when I can, I definitely can't fucking explain them, so it's like, why the fuck do I bother trying to remember them? Number 5, do you have a dream journal? I do have a little black book in my bedroom that I use to keep track of weird one-liners and random thoughts or videos and just kind of like stuff that, oh, I need to write this down right now or else I'm going to forget it. And I have kept a couple dreams in there, but usually it's, I'm not like dedicated to it. I don't like, oh, I need to write this down. Like it's a pretty relaxed dream journal, if you can call it that. Number 5 asks, how often do you have nightmares? Many times a week. It's not an uncommon occurrence for me at all, for either one of us. And, yeah, it's unpleasant. Number 6, do you lucid dream? I think I have once, maybe, and while sometimes I can be aware that I'm dreaming and just look at it like, this doesn't make any fucking sense, most of the time, the once was I able to be like, you know what, no, different! Like, you know, I can't take control of my dreams. At best, I can be aware that I'm dreaming, but I can't do anything about it. Number 7, do you dream in color? Yes. Number 8, do you dream in first person? It's usually about 50-50. A lot of the times when my dreams have plots, they are kind of like a third person, like, it almost looks like a movie. Especially if it's a nightmare, those are usually very cinematic when I'm experiencing them. I almost never have a nightmare in first person. Or at least it's never just first person. I'll have first person moments, but when the bad shit goes down, I will see it in multiple camera angles, so I get really good viewing of me just getting destroyed. But it really is a toss-up whether it is or not. Neither one is more prominent than the other. Number 9 asks if you have recurring dreams. Yeah, at least I have recurring themes. And it's not so much anymore, but the biggest recurring theme that happened in my dreams was pretty much all the nightmares would involve something terrible happening to him and either me having to deal with it and feel all the emotions in real life, because I do have a great imagination. I have a lot of mental problems, which means that when I'm putting myself through torture, there's a lot of internal motivation there. But it would either be him going through something terrible and then me having to try to deal with it, or sometimes it would be me dying and having to watch him at like my funeral or some shit. It's just like terrible fucking stuff. The absolute worst one out of all of those, I had a dream where it started off normal. It was normal family life, normal family involvement, everything was fine, and I believe I accidentally, I don't know how, I don't remember how, I accidentally caused my dad to die. It wasn't murder, it was an accident that happened. And as we were trying to deal with it, I felt like the world start to spin, and I'm like, of course, I'm starting to freak out. But then things changed all around me. My dad was alive again, but I was more distant. In reality, I, at that point, was very involved. I lived with my dad. In this one, I didn't live with my dad. I'm moving further away from my family. But I came over and was like, oh, nice to see you again. And everything was fine. And then it happened again. A different way. And it was it was something gruesome, like unnecessarily gruesome, that happened every time. And then the thing happened again, and I was even further out. In this, I wasn't his son, I was like his nephew. I was like, oh fuck, no, you're my dad, what the fuck? And this would just keep happening and happening, where I accidentally, in one way or another, wound up accidentally killing my dad. To the point where I remember the most vivid part of it was, I remember I was sitting outside of a school, and I was sitting on a hill, and at this point it had happened so many times where I was a complete stranger to my whole family. And I was looking inside the school, and I was watching my brother at school with my parents, and they're like at some conference or some stupid shit. And I'm just like, I can't be with my family, I'm going through all this bad stuff, and there's like a little rock, and I kicked the rock in sadness, and fucking like super kicked the rock apparently, because it jetted through the air, through a window, hit my dad in the head, made his head explode, and the shit happened again. It was like, everything I was doing, and this was the overall theme, everything I was doing was harming my dad and pushing me further away from him. And I have a great fear of my dad dying. And you know, it's nothing like I don't obsess over it as much. You know, I used to be deathly afraid of it, but now I'm pretty set in stone of the fact that he's going to be around forever, because yes, he will. Shut the fuck up, he will. And so now I don't lose sleep over it. Every once in a while I have a nightmare like that, but back in those days, if my dad was like late from work, I was like, oh no, he's dead. It was terrible. It was really bad. But now things are okay. I haven't had a dream like that, or certainly anything near that level, or at least that level of recurrence, or anything close to that whole entire experience in a long time. And number 10 asks if I have deja vu. I do, in both the traditional sense and in the video that NikitaRoqueSox did. She talked about a type of deja vu, I almost said voodoo, a type of deja vu she has that she describes way better than I could fucking paraphrase, so again, go watch her video. But kind of in response to hers, I said that I have something somewhat sort of similar, where if I have a really bad day, or sometimes just whatever the fuck, it'll just pop up. But especially if I have a strenuous day, one that really wears me out, I will be laying in bed, and I will begin to experience alternate realities. Now, I'm psychotic, so I'm used to that shit, but in this, I can't differentiate. Like, if I see the kitchen fucking explode right now, but nothing happens to me, I'm pretty certain that shit isn't actually happening, so I can kind of live through my life with it. That's what unmedicated psychosis fucking is. Vivid hallucinations, I'm schizophrenic, so, yeah, I've had reality break down around me all the time, but I just remember my feet are still here, so even though the ground collapsed, I'm still standing, so I must be fine. It's not that easy, and it does not take that fast, but that's basically the process. But with these, I will be laying in bed, like I've had a bad day at work, for example, and I'll be laying in bed, and customers will keep coming up to my bed, trying to check out with items they want to purchase, and I sleep without a top, so I'm covering myself up. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you in my bedroom? And they're like, because I'm trying to purchase something. And like my boss will come out. I was like, dude, why are you sleeping? You gotta fucking do your job. And so I'll sit up, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta do this. and I look around my bedroom, and all of a sudden it's my work, but my bed is at work now. As opposed to them coming into my bedroom to do this shit, now I'm at work, in bed. So I'm like trying to ring customers out, and then all of a sudden, everything's gone. It's just like, fuck, how long was I awake doing that shit? And, so yeah, as someone who has anxiety and gets stressed easy, that shit being triggered by stress, whew, let me tell you. Unfortunately, that was it. That's the whole fucking tag. Very short. Thank God it's short. Because I do all these 30 fucking minute recordings and shit, so I'm gonna keep this one nice and short. Thank you all very much for watching. The dream tag, NikitaRoqueSox, watch her video. Thank you for doing your tag. You didn't tag me, so I don't tag anyone. Everyone's tagged. Yeah, that's how I fucking work. If I don't get tagged, I'm tagging everybody. So, thank you all very much for watching. I've been the trained unprofessional Deckerlink along with my bots, and I speak for the voices in my head when I say until next time, fare thee